Arsenal versus Chelsea. At the end of a season like no other, this year's unique showpiece is an all-London affair. A capital clash between two clubs who've dominated the competition in recent years. But who will add another victory to their roll of honour? This is the Emirates FA Cup preview show. Coming up, a four-time winner, now Frank Lampard needs to draw on his success as a player.
I want the players to play individually and collectively without any regrets afterwards, to give everything for Chelsea, to try and win the FA Cup final. It's a big deal.
Mikel Arteta is one step away from success, just months after becoming a boss.
I feel so lucky to be here, to be able to bring us, to win a trophy. It would be incredible.
The Blues' first FA Cup winning captain looks back half a century.
With it being 50 years since we won the Cup, it would be a fitting tribute that Chelsea was to win it again.
And who will win the other final? It's our FA Cup quiz.
Should know this from FIFA.
I have to have an Arsenal clue here.
As a player, Frank Lampard's Chelsea career was a picture of success.
Spectacular from Frank Lampard.
4 FA Cup winners' medals complement an impressive trophy haul. Now Lampard's aiming to illustrate his managerial credentials by repeating the feat as the boss.
It was always incredible as a player, but as I think generally about the contrast between playing and managing, that playing is you can go out there and have impact in-game on things individually is a huge thing, but when you're a manager of a club, you take on a real responsibility for many more things. So I think if you can bring success, then it's a more rounded kind of feeling of the input that you've had. So I would love to be able to do that for my club. It's my club, Chelsea. I played here a long time and have a real strong feeling for it.
Lampard has adapted well to the art of management. A season which began with the departure of Eden Hazard and a transfer ban, culminated with the Blues securing Champions League football.
The real feeling I get coming out of the first year is that we've made a lot of strides forward, and I feel certainly now in a position where I know and feel where I want us to go. And I think this year was always going to be about that. It was about how well we can do whilst understanding that there may be some bumps in the road, but can we move forward in lots of areas and just keep driving for improvement is the biggest thing.
Brilliantly taken by Tamori.
I always wanted to give the youngsters a chance, ban or no ban, because I think there's been a lot of work done in the academy here, and there is talent there that would only be nurtured if it's given an opportunity, and you only know when you give some players opportunities. So they deserve a lot of credit individually for getting their noses in the team. They deserve the credit when they manage to stay in the team, and I'll work with them to try and make sure they continue to be huge parts of Chelsea's future.
And Chelsea are heading to the FA Cup final.
Be a great part of their experience just to feel the pressure and feel the build-up and the aftermath and what it means, and the idea that you can have a trophy next to your name. So the experience will be great anyway. If we can get a win, then what it might mean in terms of confidence, of giving the players a feeling of how it feels to win and how they can take that forward, then you'd like to think they'll use that in a really positive way.
Chelsea's youngsters will face increased competition next season. The signing of German international Timo Werner and Ajax winger Hakim Ziyech is a clear statement. Chelsea expect Lampard to be competing with the very best.
It's important. A club of our size wants to recruit well. It can define you. We've seen that in recent models of clubs that have dominated English football in the last 5-6 years, in particular terms of Man City and Liverpool. So it's a mixture. It's always a balance of how hard you can work and improve daily on the training pitch. And then also if you can bring in players that do improve in areas that you need to in the squad, then of course that can help as you move forward.
With the renaissance of Olivier Giroud, Chelsea have a wealth of attacking options. But are defensive reinforcements required? This season, they conceded 54 goals in 38 Premier League games, more than any club in the top 10.
We can always improve, individually and collectively. We certainly will do. I have no doubts about that, because there's a desire to. And I can see the talent here, and maybe the talent that we do bring into the club. And if we do bring more, it'll be with the idea of getting better. It's the only way a club can keep going in the right direction.
Next to test the resolve of Chelsea's backline are Arsenal, making steady progress under another young manager and former FA Cup winner.
They're a team of many talents, some real high talent in attacking areas, some real exciting young talent, and a real organisation now defensively as well, the way Mikel Arteta has got them playing. So there's been an uplift in their performances and their results and their performance obviously in the semi-final. So I'll expect that Arsenal to come and turn up and give us a very tough game.
But so used to winning on cup final day, how will Lampard draw upon his own experience?
I'll suitably try and speak a lot about what a final means, because it's one chance, and the biggest thing that I always felt with finals going into it is that you never want to have a regret. I have some finals in my playing days that I regret personal performance or a moment in the game or collectively what we did, and that normally will cost you at this level, and the game isn't that important. So I want the players to play individually and collectively without any regrets afterwards, to give everything for Chelsea to try and win the FA Cup final. It's a big deal. So I'd love to be able to do that for myself, for the club, and most importantly for all the fans, because I know what it means to them. And it's been a difficult season for fans everywhere, that they haven't been able to get so close to their teams in this back end. So it will be a lovely one we can bring to them.
Neither Frank Lampard or Mikel Arteta have lost an FA Cup final at Wembley, with 6 wins between them as players. The Arsenal manager was at Everton when Lampard's goal helped Chelsea beat the Toffees in 2009, but missed the final through injury. Lampard did collect a runners-up medal in 2002, but that final was at Cardiff's Millennium Stadium, meaning Arsenal are the only side to beat him in an FA Cup final. Should Lampard lift the trophy he won 4 times as a player, it would extend an impressive family record. His dad, Frank Lampard Sr., was a 2-time Cup winner at West Ham in 1975 and 80, while his uncle, Harry Redknapp, managed Portsmouth 12 years ago. Now, how they got there. Chelsea's route to the final.
It's exciting to start every campaign in the FA Cup. When you have that early goal, I think that the pressure releases a bit. The team gains in confidence. The last thing you want to do is to concede a late goal. You know, it was a set play and we concede from there, and it was offside. And that goal could bring them into the game. At the end, it was good to get the win. We knew that we had a very good opportunity to go through to play against a strong side and to show our level. And it was not our best game, but we controlled and we had it in our hands with 2-0 up. We didn't manage well. We conceded a goal. And the last 10 minutes, we just had to defend. They looked dangerous until the end of the game. This kind of teams that they push you through the limits and they play with high intensity. First half with 0-0, he got the triple save. That could change the game completely, and it's very pleasant to a keeper that can make the difference. We scored the first goal, and I think we had better chances than them to score more goals, and they opened the space, the strikers, to create the shot, and 2-0 is completely a different game.
And the Liverpudlian puts Liverpool 2-0 behind in the FA Cup 5th round at Stamford Bridge.
I think we went that extra percent that that you need when you play against teams like Liverpool. A few years ago we faced them as well in the quarterfinals. We didn't start well the game. We didn't defend well as a team, even if we didn't concede goals. Felt that going at this pace, we couldn't get through against a side like Leicester. We got the winner. He has this desire and this appetite to go forward and to score goals. When you're in a semi-final of the FA Cup, you have to go through every detail. Everything counts, and I think from the first second, everybody was up to it. We got compact, we were solid, we defended better, and at the end we show our qualities up front.
He comes across from Alonso, it's in again! Chelsea are heading to the FA Cup final.
You have to shoot, you have to create the chances, and by creating, I think we got what we deserve. It's important, obviously, to play all together and fight together, because our wish is to win it.
The FA Cup is football's oldest competition, but this has been its longest season. 358 days between first qualifier and final. The first round proper saw 80 clubs in contention.
Cheers, thank you.
League One and League Two teams were aiming to avoid falling victim to a giant killing against non-league opposition. But as ever, headlines were written and history made by the Minnows.
Giroud slew. He couldn't go all the way, could he? Oh, incredible!
8th tier, Malden and Tiptree, shocked League Two Leyton Orient, while non-leagued over Athletic were too good for Sol Campbell's Southend United.
Dover Athletic through to the second round of the FA Cup for the first time in 5 years.
Another 8th tier side, Chichester City, received a bye to the second round following Bury's expulsion.
32.
The chairman said to me, if we got the bye, we'd give Bury a donation, and I agreed with him straight away.
A real surprise looked on the cards in round 2 when Solihull Moors raced into a 3-goal lead against League One Rotherham. But an incredible 4 goals in the last 14 minutes turned the tie on its head.
Smith again. He believes he's won it with one of the great turnarounds of this season's FA Cup competition.
The two lowest ranked clubs, Chichester and Malden, both saw their cup runs come to an end in round 2. But a pair of non-league sides fared better as Fylde defeated Kingstonian. And Hartlepool saw off League Two Exeter to give themselves the chance of a major tie in the third round draw. Still to come, why Nicolas Pepe will do whatever it takes to win at Wembley.
At the moment, we're fully focused on the final. And we don't mind if we have to score with our knees, our heads, or backs.
And the rise and rise of Mason Mount.
Hopefully got many years at this club and want to achieve great things and want to win loads of trophies.
From a player perspective, you have more time to enjoy a win. Normally, from the managers, it's a very short time, so you have to make sure that you enjoy it, because probably the next day or the next hour, something's going to happen that you have to focus on and start another process.
For Mikel Arteta, his first experience of an FA Cup final in 2009 will live long in the memory for the wrong reasons.
The journey was beautiful. Everton didn't reach a final for many, many years. We got to that point, we started the game really well, scored the first goal. But we ended up losing, which was a shame because as well we could get the access for Europa League. I had my cruciate repaired a few weeks earlier than that, so it's a shame not to enjoy the final. I was with the squad, I was with the players, with the staff, and we were all a team. You know, we could contribute with 0.1% doing something. We were all ready to do that.
5 years later, with Arsenal, the Spaniard enjoyed his second cup final experience rather more.
The club had a spell of 8 or 10 years without a trophy, so the pressure was building. We go there with the right mood, with the right intentions, but the game was a little bit crazy. We went 2-0 down and we had to get back in the game. It was an amazing way to win it. To leave that trophy was like a big relief, not just for the players, I think, for Arsene as well, the coaching staff and the whole club. I think that led to another years of success again. To do it in 2 consecutive years is not an easy thing to do. We knew we had experience, and I think everybody was a little bit calmer. I think it's playing the occasion. Everything surrounding that day. A lot of things happening around the stadium, fans, families, every protocol just before the game as well. It makes it so special. It's such a beautiful day.
Now as manager, Arteta needs to pass on that cup final day experience.
I just wanted to have the feeling that emotion, passion, and drive, you know, that the energy comes from the right way. Just focus on winning it, how we're going to perform, and how lucky we are to get into the last day with the option to win at Satchel and qualify for Europe.
But Arteta's opposite number knows even more about what it takes to win at Wembley.
Superb player, very competitive, so one that I admired a lot because he was a midfielder as well. How consistent he was in his performances and his numbers through the years, he was outstanding. And now as a manager, I think he's doing a really, really good job. He had a difficult task, they had the ban, but they qualified for Champions League. I think he's doing well.
Lampard has had a full season with Chelsea. Arteta just 8 months in the manager's job at Arsenal. But a trophy is only one game away.
My targets and my vision is still intact. I really believe that if we can do it, we need a bit of time in order to do that and a lot of good decisions to be made. But I feel so lucky to be here, to be able to bring us, you know, to win a trophy. It would be incredible. To convince these players that we are in the right path and to qualify for Europe after the season that we'd had, it will mean the world to us.
Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang's 2 goals in the semi-final against Manchester City meant the Gabon captain became only the 4th Arsenal player to score twice in a game at Wembley, following Reg Lewis in the 1950 FA Cup final, Charlie Nicolas in the 87 League Cup final, and Alexis Sanchez in the FA Cup semi-final 5 years ago. Arsenal go into the game after their worst Premier League finish for 25 years. 8th place, their lowest since 1995, when they finished 12th. However, their record in this competition is unrivaled. This is their 21st final in total. They've won the FA Cup a record 13 times. And history in major finals with Chelsea bodes well. They faced the Blues 4 times, but won both their FA Cup finals in 2002 and 2017. Now, how Arsenal made it all the way to the final.
I remember when the fixture came out, I was at Leeds at the time, and I was just thinking, playing with them and training with them, I knew obviously what they had to offer, and I knew it was going to be a difficult game. And I think Leeds put in a very strong first half performance and made it difficult, you know. A goal was a goal, you know. I think judging by the celebration, you know, he didn't care too much either, and neither did we. I think what the team performance on the whole deserved, and yeah, no, it was a good start to the FA Cup run. There was quite a few of us young players from the academy playing together, so it was an even special moment for us. And I think it was just so well worked, you know. I think we've watched that in the replay a few times over, you know, in the team meetings, you know. I think that's the way Mikel wants us to play, and that's the way we want to play as a team. I think that was a perfect example of it, and yeah, the finish was even, you know, good to match it. And yeah, no, it was a brilliant team goal and one that we really worked hard on.
Saka to feed it in, and it must be for Nketiah.
It was a nice, comfortable finish for me on my left foot, and yeah, I was just so happy to obviously get on the score sheet and, you know, put us 2-0 up at the time. No one ever wants anyone to get hurt, you know, and especially when it's one of your teammates. You know, we was all gutted for Lucas, and you know, we tried to support him as best as we could, you know. And obviously, everyone's mood is not the happiest seeing an injury like that, but we wanted to try and get the victory for him and go through to the next round.
Same towards John Egan, and it's headed over the line. It looks as if we're still going to be level at 0-0, clearly offside.
So it's a bit of justice, you know, if it's disallowed, it's because it's correct, you know, and gives you a bit of luck, especially when it's, you know, happened twice. But I think all in all, we defended really well that game as a team, and yeah, it was great to obviously get, you know, last-minute winner like that from Danny. You know, it's very emotional, and these kind of moments are what makes the FA Cup so special, you know. I was at home with my family watching the game, obviously, because I didn't travel through the suspension, but we was all jumping like mad at home, so I can only imagine they was all buzzing.
Aubameyang is clear, and Arsenal are 2 goals clear.
this competition is so special, and the club have such a great history in this competition, and we want to be part of that and be able to stamp our mark on that history, and that's something we're working towards.
We continue our look back on a special FA Cup season, and after 2 rounds of cup drama, the 3rd round saw the game's big clubs enter the equation.
And we can now do the draw for the 3rd round of the FA Cup. 22, Liverpool.
Number 16,
Everton.
A second Merseyside Cup meeting in the last 3 years was settled by Curtis Jones' wonder strike, as Jurgen Klopp's young team spoilt Carlo Ancelotti's first derby. But the story of the 3rd round was written by their neighbours from the Wirral.
Tranmere Rovers were 3-0 down, and now it's 3-3!
Bottom of League One, Tranmere produced the most unlikely comeback against Premier League Watford and finished the job at Prenton Park.
Yes!
Other EFL sides rose to the occasion. The Championship trio of Derby, Sheffield Wednesday and Fulham beating Premier League sides.
Arteta goes for it! Oh, spectacular!
There was a theme of reunion in round 4. Slaven Bilic returned to East London and added to the misery of his former club, West Ham. And a famous name was back in FA Cup action. Wayne Rooney inspiring Derby to victory over Northampton to set up a tie with former club Manchester United, who ended the dreams of Tranmere Rovers.
Maguire allowed to come forward, and he got the shot away, and Manchester United lead as a result.
A strange scene at St Andrews, where Birmingham played the role of away side in their own stadium. Tenants Coventry earned a draw, but lost the replay on penalties. League One Portsmouth won away at Barnsley, while Liverpool's youngest ever side came of age against Shrewsbury.
I thought we showed a real maturity for such young players, and I think over 90 minutes we were just about the deserved winners. Couldn't be more proud of the players tonight.
There has been no shortage of foreign stars at Arsenal.
Oh, brilliant goal by Dennis Bergkamp!
No shortage of inspiration for last summer's arrival, Nicolas Pepe.
Who else but Monsieur Thierry Henry?
When I was younger, I watched their generation of players, the Invincibles, and lots of people started supporting Arsenal at that time. Arsenal are one of the biggest clubs in Europe, and that is something that motivates me. They're examples for players joining the club to try to emulate, such as Thierry Henry, who I think is an example who we can all follow. He started out in France and had a tough time initially, but he became an Arsenal legend, so he's an example to follow.
So 12 months after becoming Arsenal's record signing, how does the Ivorian assess his start in North London?
On an individual level, I can certainly do better. For a first season, I think my level has been a bit low, and I have to improve in that area. It's the first time that this sort of thing has happened to me. I have people around me who help me and push me to ensure I don't think about that at all, and I'm 100% focused on what happens on the pitch and trying to give my all in every game.
Life has been helped by a French connection with Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang and Alexandre Lacazette.
It's simple. As soon as I arrived, I was naturally drawn towards them because they speak French. There's an automatic connection between us when we play together, and we link up well. It's certainly easier to play with players who understand my game and like playing attractive football. That's definitely easier and beneficial to the team.
The 25-year-old hasn't replicated the consistent form he showed at Lille, but has impressed in the FA Cup. And silverware in his debut season would represent a good start to following those famous names.
It would be great for me to win the FA Cup, and I hope it's the first of many trophies. It's simply a match we want to win. We're targeting victory because it's a London derby, and it's one we really want to win. Everyone would like to score a last-minute winner or equaliser to save the team en route to victory. But at the moment, we're fully focused on the final. And we don't mind if we have to score with our knees, heads or backs. It doesn't matter which player it is. Even if we win 1-0, I wouldn't mind, because we need this game, whatever happens.
Still to come, Chopper Harris, 50 years on from the Blues' first trophy.
Me being the Chelsea captain, the first time ever Chelsea have won the FA Cup. It was a privilege to captain a great bunch of lads.
And in the FA Cup final quiz, who knows their history?
Mine's gone blank here.
As you get older, your memory goes a bit.
Yeah, so I joined the club when I was 6 and been there ever since.
I tried to base my free kick on Ronaldo, hit the ball by the valve and it moves. So what do you do? Top corner, top bins.
It's been a long road to where I got to now, and it's not finished. Working my way through the ages, developing, and hopefully got many years at this club and want to achieve great things and want to win loads of trophies. That's all of our goals. So hopefully many more exciting years to come.
Mason Mount, 1-0 Chelsea, first blood in the EFA Cup final.
We've played in many tournaments in the academy. We've won quite a few of them, and I think when you're in the academy, when you're at Chelsea, the club is so focused on winning.
Nice feat, Mason Mount. That is absolutely brilliant.
You always have that winning mentality from a young age, so it's very good seeing that a lot of the players that you've played with at younger age group developing, getting better and better and better, and then all going into the first team at around the same time. It's quite a special moment.
Mason Mount fires it high in.
My goal was to go out on loan, gain experience, and then work as hard as I can and give it my best shot to get back into Chelsea first team. That was always my goal. And moving to Derby, obviously under Frank Lampard as well, and then being quite lucky for him to come back to Chelsea and work under him at Chelsea, it kind of give all of us younger players a chance to show what we're about. And we know that nothing's never a given. Definitely at this club, the whole squad is brilliant, world-class players. So even if you're a younger player, there's no given opportunity to play. You've got to earn it. If I look back now, I probably wouldn't have thought that I'd played this many games and be involved this much, but I've learned so much, and obviously I've gained so much experience. So it's been, I've loved every minute of it. I think at the beginning of the season, a lot of people wrote us off. A lot of people said that we wouldn't get nowhere near top 4. And now obviously we proved everyone wrong, and we're in the top 4, and now obviously the chance to win some silverware. And at any club you want to win trophies, and especially at this club, the chance to win a trophy, personally for me in my first season, and a lot of the younger boys for their first season, and obviously the gaffer as well, to win a trophy would be brilliant for everyone, and especially the fans that can't be at the game and can't watch us at the game. It'd be brilliant to win it for them as well.
Top bin. And Mason Mount strikes for Chelsea.
Mason Mount has scored more goals for Frank Lampard, the manager, than any other player. The 21-year-old with a combined 19 at Chelsea and Derby last season. David Luiz is aiming to win the cup with Arsenal. He won twice as a Chelsea player, but he did miss the finals in 2012 and 18. It would make Luiz the 6th player to win the competition with both clubs. Ashley Cole leads the way with 3 wins for the Gunners and 4 with the Blues. Olivier Giroud won in 2018 with Chelsea after 3 wins with Arsenal. The Frenchman's semi-final strike against Manchester United was his 16th in the competition. since Giroud's FA Cup debut in 2013. Only Sergio Aguero, with 19 goals, has scored more.
Hello, it's Olivier, Giroud, and these are my Chelsea teammates. Willy Caballero is a top man. He doesn't look 38 years old. He's still really enjoying the life, the game. He's a very good person. César Azpilicueta speaks perfect French. A good captain, to be honest. Very professional. He's doing very well this season. His starts are very good, and he's a very good person, also top man, and good shoulder you can step on, if I can say. Haha. Kurt Zuma is the most funniest person I know maybe in football. He's still young, he's only 26, but he's got already a great experience of top-level football. But he's one of my best mates in the dressing room, yeah. Antonio Rudiger. I'm not very happy when I play against him at training because I know it's going to be tough. The commitment, determination. He's a top man also, he's a friend in the dressing room, and we have a very good understanding also. Reece James, very professional for his small age, he's still very young, but he looks very mature, very good, very powerful. His physical ability is crazy, he's so quick. He still also can improve, and that's frightening, Fikao Tomori, impressed by his quality and the fact that it was also very mature for his age. He's a great defender, and I think like Reece, he's got a great future in front of him. All the English players, they are in good hands with the gaffer. Mason Mount. Don't tell him, but I think that's one of the most talented young players I play with. He will become a great player. He's a top man also. He's a good mentality, and that's very important in football also. Roscoe, I always have a love with him, about his accent. A good lad from Liverpool, but he's one of the most professional, committed player. His desire to improve is very big. William is 32, I think, but he still can take you on with pace and skills, and he's very efficient in front of the goal. Callum, the baby blue, if he's staying calm and focused on what he has to do, he will be a great player. Christian Pulisic, I definitely have a good relationship on the pitch with him. He's still very young, but he will become one of the best wingers, definitely, of the Premier League soon, I think. So Olivier Giroud, like English people said, Giroud. How shall I describe myself? Generous, who like to set up the players and be a linker player. And obviously I would say my finishing, because when I have a chance, I just try to put it back of the net. Yeah, so you know everything about the team now.
I was a competitor. I used to love a challenge. I've never had too many injuries. I inflicted a few.
Ron Harris, the Chopper Harris as they call him at Chelsea.
Because they reckon the way I used to chop people down from behind.
Harris has caught him behind that left knee.
I was the first Chelsea captain to ever lift the FA Cup. I've had all the razzle and tazz of mixing through crowds, getting off the trains and walking from this one to the other, but it's nice and quiet, it suits us fine, I've worked at Chelsea doing the hospitality and certain things. I enjoy it, I'm always early, I leave here early, and I say to people the only time I'm late was with some of the tackles I used to do. The one thing I'm proud of that, and I don't think it will ever be broken, is that I've played more games than anybody in the history of the football club. I did have a bet with John Terry a couple of years ago when he came to near the 700 that he wouldn't beat my record, and I can't see that happening nowadays anyway. We got to the cup final in 66, 67. We were disappointed that we got beat, but fortunately 3 or 4 years later we got into the cup final. I don't think either side had won the FA Cup prior to that. They were an exceptional side. They was always difficult to beat. You had Big Jack, the gentle giant, Norman Hunter, Billy Bremner that could rattle a few people up. And I think a lot of the sides that used to play against them used to be defeated before they went out there because they were a physical side, but they had players that could play. That's me leading the side out. Have a look at the pitch at Wembley, which was a disgrace. They had a Horse of the Year show a week or so before the game, and it was like a ploughed field. And if you can go back to their first goal, the ball went underneath myself and Dave, where the ball didn't even bounce. It just hit the mud and went pfft. Now you look at the goal that Sprake's just let in from Peter Houseman. He's dived, it's gone underneath his body. Well, you know, like really, they shouldn't have played the game there. We were behind twice at Wembley. A bit relieved that we got ourselves out of jail because I think they were by far the better side. I think the replay was a couple of weeks later. It's always a fantastic feeling playing at Old Trafford because there's always a fantastic atmosphere. The pitch was a lot better than what it was at Wembley. When I look at some of the tackles that are going on and the referee's waving play on, you'd be bound for life, seriously. Oh, look at that tackle what Eddie done on Billy Bremner. He caught him on the head in the penalty area. Look, he's not even give a free kick or anything, look. For long periods of that game as well, we were behind. You give our lads credit. We got back into the game with a goal, and then Webby supposedly, although Tommy Baldwin reckons he got the final touch, but Webby's always claimed it. People say over the two games we were very fortunate, but I show them my cup winners medal. Can you bring me a loser's one from Leeds? But no, they were a good side. You know, the memories of me being a Chelsea captain, the first time ever Chelsea have won the FA Cup. It was a privilege to captain a great bunch of lads. That's myself and Pete Rosgood lifting the FA Cup. The four most successful captains, John Terry, myself, Roy Bentley, who captained the side that won the league in '55, and Dennis Wise. That one is Georgie best player I ever attempted to kick. I used to do a lot of dinners with him, and when we was on the stage, I think that's the nearest I ever got to him. Fantastic squad of players. 5 of them are no longer with us. Peter Bonetti sadly died, you know, recently. Peter Osgood died. Peter Houseman, Ian Hutchinson. Jack was a big awkward centre-half when it comes to set plays for us Chelsea defending, things like that. But to play at the highest level of football and to play for England, you've got to be useful. It was 50 years since we'd won the Cup, and they wore a special shirt with the badge and everything on it. They made a special presentation, and we didn't run, we walked round the lap of honour to the supporters, who were fantastic. I think they're a long way behind at the moment. They could do with, you know, 2 or 3 defenders. Maybe I should come out of retirement. With it being 50 years since we won the Cup, you know, it would be a fitting tribute that Chelsea was to win it again.
On to the final chapter of this season's FA Cup story. And in round 5, it was down to 16 teams. Arsenal and Newcastle were too strong for their championship opponents, as were Leicester City, who derailed Birmingham's quarter-final intentions, while holders Manchester City edged past Sheffield Wednesday. The red half of the Steel City fared better, Billy Sharp's goal taking the Blades past Reading. Wayne Rooney couldn't inspire Derby to a shock against his former club Manchester United. But former Evertonian Ross Barkley helped Chelsea see off Liverpool. And Tim Krul was the hero for Norwich, shootout winners at Spurs.
Tottenham are out! Norwich City are through to the quarter-final!
Football then took an enforced break, returning to a new normal. For 8 clubs, there was now the promise of a trip to Wembley with one more win. Manchester United breaking Norwich hearts with Harry Maguire's late extra-time goal.
It's in the back of the net, and Maguire celebrates what surely is the winner for Manchester United.
United through to a record 30th semi-final appearance to face Chelsea. Manchester City were on course to retain the trophy after winning at Newcastle.
Sterling winds himself up and scores, and may well put Manchester City into the semi-finals of the FA Cup.
The holders marching on to meet Arsenal.
Hi, this is Martinez, and this is my Arsenal teammates. Hector is a really nice boy. I know him for 8 years, and as a player, everyone's seen his quality, so I think the world knows how good Hector is. Brock Holding is a lovely guy, and as a player, he already won the FA Cup, playing outstanding when he's fit and confident. He's one of the best centre-backs in England. Kieran Tierney, wow, another funny guy. The fans already love him, we all love him, the manager loves him. That's Kieran. He's a humble guy who wants to make it to the top. David Luiz. People criticize David this season, and we seen David after the City game. He apologized first to us, and then he went to the camera to say the same thing. Wow, that's how we should be when we make mistakes as well, because people sometimes hide, and he didn't. And that's why he's been at the top for so long. Dani Ceballos, probably one of the most talented players that we have in the squad. He was a lone player, but he doesn't look like a lone player. The way he fights, the way he trains, the way he's committing to the club, he surprised me. He will always be there, he will never hide, and that's something that big club needs. Ainsley Maitland-Niles. Ainsley got everything to be a star, not just a football player, a star. For me, if I'm a manager, I need at least a player like Ainsley. You can rely on him in any position. Granit Xhaka is a born leader. He screams or he shouts the same way in training like you're going to do in a match day, which is something incredible. He came here with a big personality. He's a lovely guy. He's finishing the season like probably one of the most important players in the team. Alexandre Lacazette, well, what can I say? He's got a swag. You don't know if he's nervous or if he's relaxed. He's so free to play football. It's incredible. I cannot play like him. There's no way that I can be so relaxed like him. Nicolas Pepe, the most expensive player that Arsenal bought in history, I think. We're so happy for him now, how he's finishing the season, and I don't have a doubt that next season his numbers are going to be over the roof. Bukayo Saka is a guy who listens, and that's something incredible for his sake, because he already played 25, 30 games this season, and the way he listens and the way he trains, hats off for him. Well, Alba is clearly our best player of the squad. He deserves so much credit for what he's done since he signed here. He's different than everybody else. He dressed different, he drives different cars, he's got a swag that no one has. And on the pitch is something that he never seen before. The way he makes the diagonal runs, he's a world-class striker, no doubt about it. Martinez, what can I say about me? I'm a fighter, I never give up. How many years I've been in this club without lack of games? Not many will do it. So this season, my aim was to try and get as many games as I can and show the world that I'm ready for it.
And finally, FA Cup quiz time, with youth facing experience.
I think it all depends on the questions. If it's anything to do with Chelsea, I think I would do quite well.
Question 1 might help Ron. It's 90 years since Arsenal won their first FA Cup and 50 years since Chelsea's first victory. But which club has won the cup on the most occasions?
The most?
I believe we're level.
I'm going to go Chelsea.
It's the Arsenal, is it?
Arsenal.
Correct. Arsenal have lifted the trophy a record 13 times. Question 2. As compatriot Pep Guardiola's assistant, Mikel Arteta finished on the winning side last year. But can you name either of the other 2 Spanish managers to win a final?
Spanish.
I've got his face in my. I can see his face, but I can't.
He managed Wigan.
Oh, Benitez.
Roberto Martinez.
Well, I know I've got it. I've got his face, but I can't remember his name.
So close, Mason. Rafa Benitez with Liverpool and Roberto Martinez with Wigan were the 2 Spaniards we wanted. Question 3. Frank Lampard and his dad Frank Sr. have 6 wins as players between them. But can you name the FA Cup winning manager in the family? A clue? He's the Chelsea manager's uncle.
Mine's gone blank here.
Harry Redknapp.
Harry Redknapp.
As a manager, Harry.
Mine's back now, switched on now.
All switched on for that one. Frank Lampard's uncle is Harry Redknapp, a winner 12 years ago. Question 4. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang could become the first African captain to lift the FA Cup. But what's his nationality?
African country.
Should know this from FIFA.
Mozambique.
I know definitely Eddie got this right. No, I think I'm going to have to pass.
Gabon.
Correct. The Arsenal captain is a Gabon international. And finally, Olivier Giroud has scored 16 competition goals for Chelsea and Arsenal since arriving in England. But who's the only player to score more FA Cup goals since January 2013?
FA Cup goals?
Since then.
Who's he play for, or who did he play for?
Did he play for Chelsea?
I'm going to have to have an Arsenal clue here.
What, he's playing for Manchester City today?
Arsenal.
Sterling? No.
United?
The ginger head? No.
Sergio Aguero?
I'll couldn't tell you up there.
Aguero.
Correct. Only Sergio Aguero has scored more FA Cup goals than Olivier Giroud since the Frenchman's debut. Meaning Arsenal come out on top. Eddie Nketiah beating Chelsea young and old.
As you get older, your memory goes a bit.
I'll take that. I'll take that.
It's time for one of the greatest showpieces in football.
And that noise must hit you right between the eyes.
2020 has offered a unique challenge, and Wembley will stage a special occasion, adding to its list of enduring memories.
FA Cup final is underway.
A tough first challenge, to say the least.
Bobby Moore on in action and movement.
Stan Matthews was already showing first-class form.
Hazard, free of his original marker.
Brilliant save, and Norma makes it astonishing.
And Smith must score, and he hasn't scored.
Ray Parler, Di Matteo, Drogba,
And still Ricky Villa. Cantona!
Giroud! Oh, goodness me! You just cannot write scripts like this.
Enjoy the action and the occasion.
Arsenal win the FA Cup for a 13th time. Chelsea back in the winning mood again.